Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Is never gonna lose another game of the Binding of Isaac after... Oh, we said the word wrong. That is a foul portent indeed. L4, A4R, F4. Surprisingly brain-twisting to say. Speed is okay. Let's not get too negative. Rate of fire, amazing. Damage is fine, luck is good. God's Flesh, I think, is a highly useless item. In my personal opinion, it might be like actually one of the worst tier effects in the game, next to Fire Mind, which almost ruined our run. Dude, why would you have such a commitment to shooting bombs when the bombs can also blow you up? You know what I mean? Like, it's no surprise to me you are your own worst enemy. It's like me being full and then being like, I could go for a little snack right now. And I'm lying in bed going, I'm so full it's uncomfortable. You know, you gotta exercise a little. Like, what if you were just shooting tears instead? You would be a much less annoying fight for yourself personally. This was tough. Whoa. So what do we need on this run? Well, honestly, very little. We start very well balanced. So just a general upward trend on this run would probably have a good chance to take us to greatness. Right off the bat, if I was to identify one thing, you know, I like to think of myself, you ever have like a friend who's just like really good at fashion? You know, I know nothing about fashion, but I've known people throughout my life where I'm like, hey, what should I wear? Does this look normal? And they're like, no, that looks like garbage. Here's what you should wear instead for your body type and, you know, your style and what you're comfortable with. This will be perfect. And you're like, wow, that's magic. How did you know that this would work? That's the way I want to be in Isaac, is that I look at a run like this and I'm like, you know what, this run's looking like a snack right now. What does it need? Oh, you know what would pair really nicely with this run is piercing shots. This would be a run that would benefit from it nicely. We have a good tier effect. Well, no we don't. But we have a tier effect. And then combine that with the fact that our rate of fire is so strong, that would pay extreme dividends early here. So I'd be happy to see that. It's like, I want to be like an Isaac sommelier. No, that's okay. Just to know what pairs nicely. Like, I have no idea how those things work. I feel like, you know, I'm reaching the point of adulthood where I'm supposed to know what wines pair with what food. But does anybody else think it's like a little bit of a conspiracy? Like, the whole wines pairing with food thing. It's not that I disbelieve it. Because, you know, as I've gotten older, I've come to accept that just because I don't understand something innately doesn't mean everybody else is just playing along with some kind of societal fiction, okay? Not throwing stones at other content creators necessarily, Austin, but yeah, soup is a liquid food, but that doesn't make it bad because it's too liquidy, okay? It's a whole different strokes for different folks sort of thing. I think we're good to go down on the next floor. But we had a board game shindig at our house recently. Well, at our apartment, I should say. Just suck it up. We got a rate of fire and a range upgrade out of it. That's way better than just getting the damage upgrade with a rate of fire decrease. Anyway, so we got fancy. We went to a cheesemonger. We bought several kinds of cheeses, which might seem like overkill until you realize that after everybody leaves and they've only consumed like a little bit of cheese, you have like 5 blocks of cheese in your fridge. That's like a great couple of weeks as far as I'm concerned. Really, it was more of a doing it for me thing. But anyway, then we went to a liquor store, whereas that's what we call them colloquially in Canada. A store, you know, permitted by the government to sell alcohol. And we were asking, we were like, hey, we got these cheeses, what pairs nicely? And this lady was walking us through like a bunch, and they weren't expensive bottles of wine. They were like, you know, 20 bucks, relatively cheap. Well, I mean, they got higher if you wanted to, but she was recommending a lot that weren't necessarily in like the Johnny Depp price range. And she was like, oh, this one pairs nice with the, you know, a semi-soft cheese like a brie or something like that. And this one's more for like a, you know, maybe like a medium cheese like a Canadian Oka or something like that. And I'm like, oh my god, lady. First off, how'd you learn this? Secondly, how much wine do you drink? You could walk through the store and just know, oh, this one's good with this kind of cheese, this one's good with it. That's amazing to me. I'm not even suggesting that she, you know, is over imbibing. I'm just, that's a great amount of breadth of knowledge for this. And she was like my age. Sure, let's go deep on this one. Anyway, it all turned out very helpful. I appreciate it. But, you know, when I was drinking the wine and eating the cheese, I was kind of like, I don't know if these pair nicely at all. Or in my head, I just think that they pair nicely because the lady who's supposed to know what she talks about at the store told me they pair nicely. I got no clue. I really think that it's a combination of the fact that I enjoy wine, both for the taste and the physical effects, combined with the fact that my brain is really happy because I'm eating a food that's like a... Ooh, we don't really want that. The problem with taking that is that, and I think we're good to go. Maybe let's just do this last room here because it could be a mini-boss or something. But the problem with taking that is that it ruins our ability to use the void for anything other than stat gain. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible, albeit unlikely, that at some point on this run we would like to use... well, we want to save Joker. That we would like to use it to, you know, have a once every 6 rooms incredible effect of some sort. So, I think that what we don't want to do is just take teleport just because it would be, you know, once every 6 rooms we can teleport and maybe do nothing else. But anyway, yeah, it was more like, I think my brain is enjoying the taste of these because it's like salty fat, but more power to you if you, I mean, I didn't go to sommelier school, so I basically take you at face value because, you're supposed to know what you're talking about, and I believe that you do, and maybe it's one of those fake it till you make it sort of things. Or maybe my hunch is right, and it's more like, well, one person 700 years ago said this wine pairs nicely with meat, and this one pairs nicely with fish. Let me put it this way. If I went to a friend's dinner party... He's probably not going to pay out. So I think we're going to do this. And just grab that. And we could activate the shovel. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I think it's a bad play. Because I'm going to use the Joker card immediately on our next floor and see what we get out of that. Anyway, what I was going to say is if I went to a friend's dinner party... I don't think we want this either. If I went to a friend's dinner party and they said, hey, I'm really sorry, but, you know, we're having fish for dinner and I got a red wine instead of a white accidentally. I know that's a yuppie faux pas. I would be like, my dude, are you kidding me? Free fish and wine. This is the highlight of my week. Don't sweat it. I'm not sure. Maybe you age into the different camp where you would be like, I went to Jeremy's place last weekend. You won't believe it. He paired the Lincod with a red wine, with a Merlot. Can you believe it? I don't know. I think that's not the kind of person I am. I'm the kind of person who's like, dude, thanks for the fish. I think I do want to suck up Box of Spiders. It's like a harmless item to suck up. I also think it's not particularly good as a once every 6, or if we're being realistic, probably like a once every time an item shows up sort of item. Or effect, I should say, but, you know, it's not terrible. At least we get something out of it. And we will peep here real quick, and sure, it paid for itself at the very least. And this run is fine. We got piercing shots, which is exactly what we asked for earlier. And we have a deal with the devil precedent. We don't want to get a deal with the devil on this floor anymore. And I don't know, everything's kind of coming up roses here. I just think, like, you know, wine and cheese and meat pairings, it's kind of like, there's probably more of a science to it, admittedly. But what it seems to be, to me, is like, when you were a kid, and one of your friends would be like, hey, dude, get a green Skittle and a red Skittle, and then, like, eat them close together. Like, eat them really fast, one after the other. It kind of tastes like strawberry kiwi. And you were like, what? Sort of, but maybe it's just like, if you're eating so many Skittles that you're bored of the way you eat Skittles, it's probably time to just slow down on the Skittle consumption a little bit. But I like where your head's at. That's a culinary innovation. Like, occasionally, Kate and I will go out to eat at a semi-fancy place, you know? We're important people. We work in an industry, a lot of bigwigs, obviously. I will take the speed upgrade here and get out of this floor's hair, and then rehydrate a little bit. And, you know, we'll order a bottle of wine. They always, if you've never ordered a bottle of wine at a restaurant, you're probably familiar with the way that it works at the very least. They come over with the bottle, and then they hold it up to you as if, like, you're supposed to know based on its label. Like, maybe you're gonna be a discerning customer and be like, ooh, something's not right with this label. Or you're gonna look in the back and be like, oh, this is from cask 1751? I'm sorry, that cask has a little bit of wood rot. And then, if everything's okay there, then they pour you a small glass, and you're supposed to swirl it around, smell it. Maybe you smell the cork as well. And then you go, yeah, it's good, we'll take it. I've never, in my life, sent one back. I don't know if that's allowed. I assume it is. Because otherwise, you know, why would they give you the option if it wasn't allowed? But I always feel like, is it one of those things where, like, it's like buying a car? Like, you should send one back? Like, no matter, like, what you should do is, go and order, like, a pretty expensive bottle, and then when they bring you the taster glass, just go, no, this won't do, and then order, like, the $20 bottle instead. Is that the meta? Make it seem like you're a discerning wine customer, and then, I know supposedly you can't judge a wine by its price point, so I'm pushing an ignorant idea that a more expensive wine is, by necessity, gonna be better, but yeah, I don't know. I must have missed that adult lesson in, like, how to judge a wine from a tasting glass. We don't care about Diplopia. I always have to remember that Diplopia Void is actually... Bad is not the right word, but it's exactly as good as it is under normal circumstances. Another lesson I definitely missed in adulting is, how to describe home decor. I didn't realize it until we'd been watching some HGTV, which I hate and I think is a societal poison, but, you know, to each their own. And not just for the tiny house stuff. You know, I think that the HGTV is responsible for, like, maybe 10% of the housing price bubble in Canada. People that are like, yeah, I got a nice house, it's really cool, I really love my house, and then they watch HGTV and they go, ooh, but the hardwood in the living room and the den, I just can't abide by this. Let's get like a $70,000 renovation to replace that or something, you know? I don't know what we got out of that. Oh, we got Book of Belial, right, we're not getting a stat increase out of that. We still need to find our item room. This is, like, statistically this run's going amazing now. Right now I'm looking at it and going, I want a battery charge to use on Old Bandage, but we might want to get the HP from Old Bandage and just, you know, live with it. Anyway, what I was gonna say... Nah, it's not that useful for in our present situation. What I was gonna say is, I feel like people my age, not universally, but to a certain extent that surprises me, have an ability to just know what to call the style of home decor that they see. I have no idea. I have no idea what rustic is. I believe it involves wood. Contemporary? No clue. Modern? Minimalistic is really what my brain goes to. But people just walk into a house. You know, the classic joke that I'm not going to pretend like I made up, but from those HGTV shows is like, hey, I'm I reupholster couches at daycares, and my husband irons napkins, and we have a $1.8 million budget for our house. So they walk in and they go, ooh, I like the rustic decor. It's like traditional, yet at the same time has a certain modern je ne sais quoi, emblematic of the, you know, blah, 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 blah. I should really go get or recycle that item before we come back here. Like, I don't know, is it just like from watching the shows you get to know that? Because it's boggling my mind. I'll just tell you that much. I had no idea. I didn't know what wrought iron was until I was like, well, probably like yesterday, honestly. So grab this. We got a, I think we got a little damage and a 1.00 luck upgrade out of that. Not bad. We're going to go back and do the floor all over again because it's just due diligence at this point. By the way, I want to be clear in my verbiage here. I don't think that you are a poison to society if you watch HGTV for entertainment. But I do think that it is poisoning society. Just to some extent, you know? I think that... And this is a very common theme. If you watch my content, Wait, where did we get Holy Light from? Am I losing? Was that in the item room? I didn't shoot after that, so I don't think I internalized it. That's insanely good for us. I talk about this on social, or about social media as well. Like, I think social media is toxic for a lot of people, because people... Facebook was the worst for it, and maybe Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram, so I don't know, but... people, like... On social media, they only put the best parts of their lives for the most part. Twitter's the opposite, because on Twitter, people go, my mom asked how I was doing today, and I told her I wanted to die, and we both laughed. You know, that's like a classic Twitter joke. Yeah, I think we'll take it because we got the extra black cards here to begin with. Just a classic Twitter joke. But, you know, on Facebook, for sure, it was like, celebrating my 5th anniversary with my husband, you know, oh, we love each other so much, we have such a happy family, and I'm like, I don't doubt that you are. I'm not trying to be cynical and suggest that you're not a happy family, but when you only put the positive stuff on social media, and you only see positive stuff from other people on social media, I believe it has a tendency to make you feel like your life is not up to snuff, socially, or romantically, or financially, etc., etc. Wow, well, we got a lot of battery charges at the very least. And I think that that can be dangerous. And well, like, on a mental health level, at least. And that's kind of, like, a little bit of why I feel like HGTV can be, can be a little damaging. I mean, again. But all I'm saying is, when you see a family, and they move into a place, and you go, that place is nicer than our place, maybe we gotta get a new place. I think it can have an insidious impact on your life if you're a certain kind of person. But that goes for everything, dude. And, like, lest you think I'm just maligning HGTV, I think it goes for, you know, I definitely have friends of mine that if they driving around, they see somebody in a car that's nicer than their car, they're like, oh, I want that car. I'm jealous. Like, when I see someone driving around in a nice car, I feel like secondhand anxiety for them sometimes. Because I'm like, oh my god. What do you do if you, like, you're driving around like a $120,000 check? What happens if you get in an accident? It's like, not only are you worried about whiplash, but also, you know, I gotta take out a loan to fix it. It seems, bad to me, but again, you know, maybe they're operating in a different weight class. I saw a couple of Swedish twins driving a Mercedes the other day around downtown Vancouver, and I was like, what are you thinking? Ooh. I think we just want to take this. No, let's suck it up. We would have gotten like 0.25 damage, or, you know, if we got a dime, we might have gotten to like 0.5, so I don't think that's that worth it. What do we need on this run right now? We need HP. That's basically it. As always, whenever I call out something as being a poison to society, I'm not a radical person. I mean, I'm tubular, but I don't know if I'm a radical, so I'm not saying, like, we gotta stop this. I don't really care. I'm a societal isolationist. Is like essentially my idea of life is like, you can do whatever you want, as long as you're not harming other people. So when I'm judging something that you might enjoy, I want you to keep two things in mind. I judge things that I enjoy to exactly the same degree of scrutiny, possibly even to a higher degree of scrutiny. And then beyond that, as long as you're like a reasonably good person, I don't care if you watch HG. I don't care if you move 10 times a week, for all I care. Let's try this out. And then try this out. Well, we're going to get left hand. We have one Guppy item, so I think we should try for it. Try for Guppy. I think it's worth it. Oh my god, the bosses are in the other direction. So we're almost certainly not going to be able to do boss rush. But, I mean, I don't even know if we should try. Seems kind of unlikely. So I chose a luck upgrade over any other potential stat upgrade, which in hindsight doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense now that I think about it. Right, we can hold 2 trinkets, that's fair. Kind of hoping for an Emperor card or something like that, no such luck. Alright. There is a small but real chance to make boss rush, so I'm gonna try. Remember, we have to beat 2 bosses to get there, so I'm not necessarily thinking it's too likely, but we'll see. That's why, like, dude, you know what kind of TV I've been watching recently? If you guessed the 2008 HBO miniseries about John Adams, you're correct. And it's affecting me on an embarrassing level. And John Adams says something like super principled, like, I am a man of the law, cousin. I'm like, oh my god, this guy he's a hero. So don't let me tell you to spend your leisure time, okay? I gave up on boss rush more or less to do this room, and I think I'm okay with it. And now I'm like not okay with it at all, but that's fine. Friends till the end, and Pretty Fly. Do not rush, but we also don't need to open anything else up back there. See who our first boss is, the Bloat. Pretty annoying. A champion Bloat is no friend of mine. Very, very tough dodges. I think we got him, though. Oh my god, that was close. Alright, I think we take this. We don't need the luck, but we're happy to have HP for a potential deal with the devil. And this run, honestly, has been very comfy. It's a word that's resurging that I actually quite like. Comfy and cozy. I like the idea of describing media properties as comfy. It's something I'd never heard until like a couple of years ago. But be like, yeah, I like watching this show. It's comfy. How I Met Your Mother early seasons is a comfy show. What's comfy about it? It's easy to watch a lot of. You know, it feels relaxing, I guess. I don't think it's a verbal mistake. Excuse me. Let's go. We have the devil. We have the devil and the devil. Wow. Again, not a guaranteed win. That stinks. Just using that for the devil card. Not a guaranteed win here, but, or not the devil card, Book of Belial, I should say. But a really good chance of victory, you know, like our stats are pretty much good all around the board here. On these rooms, I've really just come to the opinion that, like, just run. If you have, you know, you could probably suss out intellectually how to dodge those and then come up with some kind of strat that would work really well for you. I'm like, hey, if I have high speed, just start to move before they start to shoot, and, you know, you got a little bit of a better chance of making it out alive. Anyway. I don't know why I talk about HGTV like a couple times a month. Most of the people watching this probably don't even have cable. I saw the great... Oh man, I forgot I should have mentioned this like 3 days ago when it was fresh in my mind. But there was a Reddit post, and I just want to take a second because it shows up all the time when we're talking about things that we saw on Reddit on the NLSS. It's become a meme. People go, lol, Reddit. Look, I understand. to preface every single anecdote you've ever had with, I saw on Reddit this weekend, that's annoying. I don't think we do that. Well, maybe Rob. But I don't think we do that by and large. Rob, I'm just joking. In case you're watching this, which you're definitely not because you're on Reddit right now. But people in chat go, Reddit lol, Reddit lol. No, so it's still like an aggregate of useful news. I'm not going on there being like, look at what this person said on Tumblr, made me real angry, and then I get like secondary rage, and then I go on Twitter and be like, I can't believe this happened, and somebody goes, it didn't actually happen, check out the Snopes link, and then I go, yo, you believe Snopes? You know, so like, I don't do that. I just go there and, you know, I scan the front page and a couple of relevant hockey subreddits, and then I'm good to go. So I saw there was a shower. Oh, let's actually go. A shower thought, which is just like a casual thought you have, you know, when you're mindlessly daydreaming, more or less. And it said, when our parents, or when we were younger, our parents told us not to trust people online and give out personal information. Now that they're older, they're the ones giving out their personal information online without fail. And I was like, first off, that's not totally true. I don't know why I'm picking this up, I guess, but, you know, there's a lot of people older than myself that are way better at information security than I am. But I think, by and large, I understand what you're saying. But, the top post in the thread was so good. It was somebody that said, my parents would give out their credit card number into any website on their tablet if they thought it would let them watch Scottish football games illegally. But they're still skeptical of my girlfriend who I met on Tinder because it's the internet and you never know. It's like, this is a perfect example. My parents are not really like that, but definitely, like, I've gone into their house and, like, the internet password is written on the... Dude, we should drop left hand now. Their internet password has been, like, written as soon as you enter the house, and I'm like, you know, it's not bad necessarily if you're, you know, you're only having people over that you know, I assume, for the most part, but still, it smacks of, like, it's unsecure to me. But anyway, maybe I'm being overly anal there. Or, like, the login to their email will just be, like, sitting on a piece of paper in their office, and I'm like, this is bad. But, and then they'll be like, oh, you always gotta be careful on the internet, and I'm like, you gotta be careful in real life. You can't just be leaving your logins around, you know, some people might see, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Log into your Facebook and post an ad for Ray-Bans or something, but still. Dude, straight up, the population at large needs to be more educated, and I'm not saying, like, again, this is me, what I want for society, but without pushing my beliefs on people necessarily. This is pretty agnostic of any kind of, you know, faith or value, but people should be doing a better job of educating the populace about phishing attempts and emails. Phishing. Those, like, you see reports, thousands of companies a year getting all of their personal data taken by phishing links. You know, what a phishing scam is somebody sends you an email that looks like it's from Google or looks like it's from a bank, and then it's designed to kind of, like, alarm you, and then you start thinking emotionally instead of, like, with scrutability. You know, we're just gonna go up here. So you might get an email from your bank that's like, oh, you know, $1,500 has been taken out of your account. Please click here to let us know that this is a fraudulent purpose and we'll refund the money or something like that. And then you go, what? I don't want to lose $1,500. And you click the link, but by clicking the link, you know, you've accidentally given them all the information they need to log into your account. Because usually there's a form on the page and then you put in your login details and it scrapes them. There's some really realistic looking phishing attempts. Like, there are YouTubers that have been gotten by phishing attempts. You know, people, like, make a fake email from Google and then go, you know, oh, your account has lost monetization. Please click here to reauthorize. And they're like, I don't want to lose monetization. You know, it's the kind of thing where if you took a deep breath and you looked at it for, like, 30 seconds, you'd probably be like, this is not real. there'd be clues. Sometimes there's like misspellings or it's not written in good English, but sometimes it is. You know, you gotta check the email address and you see that it's from like Google webmail at gmail.com and you're like, I don't think that that is a real Google address, but anyway, I'm telling you, phishing is real scary, because like, I don't worry so much about my own information. I used to, you ever, like, when you were growing up, some of your friends' parents would be, like, paranoid about information and stuff like that? They'd be like, you know, they'd always check, I do not consent you giving out my personal information to the National Registrar of Electors or something like that. I was always like, that person, you're being overly paranoid, that's crazy. Now, after I realized that, you know, if I give my phone number to the cashier at Banana Republic so that they can verify my purchase, you know, via a text message or something like that, now my personal information is in the database at Banana Republic, and all it takes is like one person not reading an email properly to get all that information released. I've become that guy. I am that guy now. Where I'm like, are you crazy? First off, I'm a married man, so I'm flattered, but no, you can't have my phone number or my email address or any other personal data. I'm buying a pair of pants. We're good. The transaction can stop there. People have been buying pants for thousands of years before the invention of telephones, email addresses. I'm sure I'll be fine. I don't think I've ever returned a clothing item in my life, for one. So I think it's gonna be okay. But anyway, that's... There should be, like, a basic information security class in, like, middle school. I'm being real with you, at least from my interpretation. You know, it'd be like, hey, make sure you, like, read every email really carefully if it asks you to sign into something, because it could be fake. That's a good one. Hey, if your CEO emails you and asks for the social security numbers of everybody in the office, maybe give them a call quickly on the phone to make sure it was actually them instead of a spoofed email account. Just throwing it out there. This is stuff, you know, previous generations didn't really have to deal with, but, you know, as we get older, we may have to deal with a lot. I shouldn't say it's scary. Like, what's definitely way more scary is, you know, 64-bit encryption being cracked so that, you know, all of your encrypted and hashed and salted passwords essentially become open information. But I digress. That's probably at least 6 months away from happening on a widespread scale, so... If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to sell Ray-Bans? There's nothing to... So I have no idea what items we picked up here because of the... You know, we voided 4 question marks. But hey, dude. We finished this one off quite nicely. As often, I'm a happy man as we hit, win 22. Not too bad. I just bit my tongue. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.